Hello, Internet. Hello, friends. Happy Thanksgiving Eve. It is. Are you guys excited? I'm excited about Thanksgiving. So, Scarlett, she wants to say hi to you. Hi, Scarlett. Ow, you pawed me that time. That kind of hurt me. Oh, your breast stinks. Jeez. I know. You all excited? You excited for Thanksgiving? I know. You're gonna get a bunch of beef fat tomorrow. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. All right, can you go lay down, please? You know the drill. Oh, you want to lay in the other bed? Here, you can lay down. Scarlett, come on. We're live, Scarlett. You're distracting everyone. Please lay down. Okay, you can do it. Come on. Lay down right now. Thank you. Jeez, that was an effort tonight. I don't know. She wasn't feeling it tonight, guys. All right. How is everybody? Hope everybody's having a fantastic Turkey Day evening. I'm excited about Christmas lights and a Christmas tree. To tell you the truth there. I'm excited about food. I'm gonna cook some good food tomorrow. Well, there goes Scarlett. That lasted a long time. But I'm really just excited about Christmas lights. That's what I get excited about. So, all right. Well, let's get into some stuff. There is oh, it sounded hinky right off the bat, but the whole thing at Niagara Falls today. So we saw that, right? Let's get into that. Let's see what we had going on over at Niagara Falls today. Pete Grabber, how are we doing? How's everybody doing tonight? Yeah, if you're in the chat, love to say hi. Yeah, so Niagara Falls, they're saying that there's a terrorist attack earlier, is what they were reporting, because there was such a huge explosion. Scarlett? Sorry, guys. This is going to be one of those nights. I don't want her to knock over my monitor. That's the thing. Okay, good. She's laying down. She has like 5 beds to choose from, so she bounces back and forth between them. Well, as you guys saw, there was a car that first was reported that it was packed with explosives, and it was a terrorist attack at the Rainbow Bridge from Canada into New York, right at Niagara Falls there. And that's what all the initial reportings were. But, well, it turns out, no, it was just a car driving crazy fast, and it went up an embankment and burst into flame, like full send. I mean, this car looked like it was doing at least 60, 70, 80. I mean, this car was literally flying. It went up one of those center medians, just went flying into the air. So
that would lead them to do this. We know that in this current heightened state of
go to the beginning here.
That is identifying who the occupants of the vehicle were, any potential.
You guys see it, full send, all the way in the air. Look at that. Car is airborne, if you guys can see up there in the top right-hand corner. Yeah, and just burst into flames.
Were any potential motive that they may have in terms of in groups they may belong to. They'll look at, maybe be able to get a hold of their computers, see if there was any chat or anything like that that would lead one to believe that this is a coordinated event, or they had some ideology that would lead them to do this. We know that in this current heightened state of turmoil and political awareness, that is identifying who the occupants of the vehicle were, any potential.
Apologize. Danger. How you doing? B. Cisno. B. Cisno. B. Cisno. Good evening. Good evening, sirs. Good to see you. No to drugs. Nice to see you. Looks like a Charger. I thought it was a Tesla. Let's see. Let's go back. Let's see. Where is it? Where the heck is it? Oh, there it is. It's really hard to tell there, huh? It's it. Let's see. Maybe on the view before the pillar. Oh, it's like not full screen yet. Yeah, it looks like it could be like a Charger, a Mustang, but yeah, you're probably right. It's not a. But the only reason I thought it was a Tesla is because of how like gnarly the explosion was, but it went out pretty quick. So yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe it was a gas-powered vehicle. Wally World, nice to see you. Terry Wallace, a Bentley. It was a Bentley? Don't even, you're kidding me. You got to be kidding me. What do we know about the driver? Who was it? So it seemed like everybody wanted this to be a terrorist attack. That's what was weird. Everybody was like, I don't know. The news was how they were reporting it. It was like everybody, and even I think the FBI even reported it as a terrorist attack. They had to walk it back. So Charlie Kirk says the security footage confirms that the vehicle went up onto an embankment, causing it to go airborne 10 to 15 feet before crashing and exploding. Motive of the driver unknown. Yeah. Authorities are beginning to walk back reports of a terrorist attack and no report of a bomb. So that happened earlier, and that was like the big, huge, giant story that everybody is talking about. But I mean, unless there's, something else we find out about the driver or, anything weird, it just seems like a crazy car accident to me. Not a nothing burger, but, because of where it was. But yeah, not a terrorist attack at the border. Jeez, my dog is bugging me. Maybe she has to go outside. Uh-oh. Probably should have checked that before I started the show. She can wait. She can hold it. Scarlett, come here. Come here. Go lay down right now. Come on. You're ruining the show, Scarlett. Go lay down right now. Scarlett, lay down. Now. Good girl. She's all fired up right now. I got to be honest. I haven't been walking her enough. I'm scared I'm going to hurt her. I think she has a torn ACL right now because every time I let her go outside, she gets the zoomies. She starts limping again. So it sucks. I have to keep her still, and I can't take her on walks and stuff. She's all fired up. She's not listening to anything. She kind of started chewing up stuff too. So yeah, it's not good, folks. It's not good. All right, we'll try to not make this whole episode about my dog. Anyway, all right. So yeah, terrorist attack didn't happen. That was not the case. That was pretty much the top stuff from today. But Luke Randowski reported earlier about some outbreak in China, and I just saw it like, really? Like he said some sort of joke about it, and then I see Laura Loomer post this like almost, I don't know, very shortly after. It just says Laura Loomer. Well, let's go to her whole thing here. So Laura Loomer says China preparing to unleash, and YouTube, Raja Mahan. This is Laura Loomer's words. Okay, these aren't mine. I'm just quoting her. I'm reading them. I know that COVID was very real, very dangerous, and the vaccine was 100% safe and effective. With that said, actually, I don't even care. Go ahead and cancel me, YouTube. You don't even matter. I'm sorry, you guys, Lonnie, freaking you guys watching over there on YouTube. Yeah, it sucks over there. Like they're awful. It doesn't matter how much your channel grows on YouTube. They suppress your crap. Like nobody sees your stuff unless like somebody personally sends them your video. YouTube's I won't go off on how awful YouTube is right now, but I had to give sort of a precursor before I read Laura Loomer's words. That's how awful YouTube is. China preparing to unleash another bioweapon on the world ahead of the 2024 U.S. presidential election. Okay, my channel's going to get canceled. A group called ProMed Mail just published this press release about a ransom she says ransom. I think she meant random. A ransom outbreak of pneumonia in children in China that's sweeping the nation. Let me remind you all that it was also ProMed in December of 2019 that first alerted the world to a virus outbreak in China that would later be called COVID. China is really trying to do a repeat of 2020, aren't they? Yes. Weird how this gets released 1 week after Joe Biden met with Xi Jinping in San Francisco. Gee, what a coincidence. She said, hey, she's saying all that. She's speculating all that. YouTube, I am not agreeing with her at all. I'm not. So I don't know. You guys think? What do you think? What do you think? Are we going to get a little tinfoil here? We think they're doing it again? Would they really try the same old trick again? I mean, what's crazy is, I mean, I can't say too much. I can't talk about stuff. It's horrible. Screw it. I don't care. If COVID, oh jeez, how can I even say this? If they were to do it again, it would have to be much more deadly than COVID was for people to actually comply, because people ain't gonna comply. People ain't gonna do this crap again. People are not down with this stuff. So yeah, that's what I'll say about that. All right. I think that something happened in New York I want to talk about, but I'll get into that a little bit later. I apologize. My dog is just killing me tonight. My apologies, folks. All right. So this dude up here in Canada they tried to get him to shut down his restaurant during COVID and he didn't do it. And, Canada being Canada just tried to stick it to him. And he kept his restaurant open and it looks like he just won in court. So
I plan on pursuing a civil suit. Yes. It is a bittersweet irony what happened here today. My restaurant was shut unadjudicated. I was deemed guilty without going to a court of law. They shut a man's business down of 20 years, 2 families that depended on that, 30 people that were employed by it, the millions of dollars in taxes that I collected every year because I did what? Because I chose to accept all and to extend my love to all the fine people of Calgary. A travesty of justice is what occurred. Really, truly a shame, a grotesque perversion of hospitality. And I hope and pray that my brothers and the sisters in the restaurant industry will stand up in the future and refuse to discriminate any of their customers for any reason whatsoever. It was truly a shame what happened to the hospitality industry.
Has it been a difficult 2 years for you?
It's the most difficult experience of my life. These bastards, they literally tried to break me. They tried to break me financially. They tried to break me mentally, and they tried to break me spiritually. And they almost came close. If it wasn't for the good people that joined me here today, the many who I fought with on the streets of Calgary, in the prairies at Coots, in Winnipeg, all across Canada, the millions who rose up to defend our rights and freedoms in this great, great land, we need to pray to Jesus Christ to offer us forgiveness and to give us the light to fight further into the future.
What is your message to people who are still fighting against these charges against the government? The government is still going after them.
Never give up hope. Never give up hope. And believe in yourself. One thing I've learned across this journey is that the power of the human spirit is indomitable. And if there's a mountain in front of me, that mountain shall move.
I love that dude. All right. That dude is righteous. It goes a lot to what I was talking about last night. Just keep doing what you know is right, and it's going to work out. I mean, look at that dude. What a stud. All right. So I wanted to give a little shout out to that guy. So Jesse Johnson, all charges dropped against restaurant owner Jesse Johnson, who refused to shut down his business due to the unvaccinated during COVID. Okay, she worded that funny. All right, well, so that happened. That's good. Okay, you guys remember I think it was just last week, the Las Vegas teens that beat to death Jonathan Lewis, the kid that tried to break up a fight, and they ended up beating him to death. Remember that? Well, this is the kids in court today. They look scared shitless. So Colin Rugg reports. He says Las Vegas teens appear to be scared shitless as they appear in court after the beating death of Jonathan Lewis. Lock them away for life, is what he says. Dontrell Beaver, 16, Damian Hernandez, 17, Gianni Robinson, 17, and Trayvon Randolph, 16, are charged with second-degree murder. The teens were formally charged as adults after they beat 17-year-old Jonathan Lewis to death in an alley near their school. Lewis was allegedly killed by the teens during the defending. I'm sorry. Lewis was allegedly killed by the teens while defending his smaller friend who had his headphones and vape stolen. The family was shattered, and all the other families in their lives have been shattered as well, said Clark County District Attorney Steve Wolfson. At the end of the day, I believe there have to be consequences. So, man. So here, get a look at these kids.
23CR087681-003, and 23CR087. We're going to start with Mr. Hernandez. Mr. Hernandez, private.
Here you are. Karen Colley, here on behalf of Mr. Hernandez, who's also present in custody.
Okay, Mr. Hernandez, did you receive a copy of this criminal complaint?
Yeah.
Okay, do you understand the charges against you?
Sure.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to appoint Ms. Connolly to represent you. Mr. Bieber. Mr. Bieber, have you received a copy of the criminal complaint? I need you all to answer out loud because the court reporter is going to be out every reader.
Yes.
Okay, do you understand the charges against you? Okay, I'm going to appoint Mr. Grosset to represent you.
Thank you, Judge. Just to be clear, I'm standing in for my father, Attorney Gabriel Grass.
Yes, the record will be clear as to Gabriel Grosset.
Thank you.
Thank you, counsel. Mr. Robinson? All right, Mr. Robinson, did you receive a copy of the bill?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand the findings?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm going to appoint Mr. Grosset to represent you. And Mr. Randolph, did you receive a copy of the bill? Do you understand the findings?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm going to appoint the office of the Special Public Defender to represent you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Hi, counsel, what would we like to?
Well, oh geez, this just. It might be because of the internet and we see everything now and everything's on film, everything gets recorded. But I mean, the kids getting jumped, guns getting pulled out, kids getting stabbed. It seems a lot more frequent than I was in school. You would hear when I was in school every now and then, you'd hear about somebody getting stabbed. You know, kids would get jumped and stuff. I've been jumped, but this is different. It just seems so much worse now. And I would not want to be growing up nowadays, especially some schools are just a hellscape. There's a lot of really good schools though. Like the schools up where I live, they're still public school, but I mean, this crap doesn't happen. That's for sure. That's for damn sure. Anyway, so they're getting charged with second-degree murder. So we'll see what happens for them. All right. So it's 60th anniversary of JFK's assassination. What do you guys think? What happened? You guys buying the magic bullet theory? Huh? What do you think? No drugs. We played Rancho when I was in school. Rancho who? Rancho what? There's a whole bunch of ranchos. Southern California? Rancho Cucamonga? It's all sorts of ranchos. I mean, we had ghetto schools growing up. I didn't go to the greatest school. Oak Grove wasn't great, and we played some schools that weren't the best. It's like Silver Creek and Alum Rock. They weren't the greatest schools on earth. But this kind of stuff wasn't happening all the time. It seems way worse now than it was when I was going to school. Anyway, let's talk about a little JFK, should we? Let's see. Yeah, I'm not buying the magic bullet theory, but it's his 60th anniversary, so let's talk a little bit about what happened. Well, I mean, you guys know what happened, but it's like common. Everybody seems to agree now. It's not even like a conspiracy to say, yeah, the CIA killed JFK. It's not even really it's not a conspiracy to say that. It's just kind of commonly accepted now. Alan Watson says the lone gunman's The lone gunman's magic bullet caused seven entry and exit wounds in President Kennedy and Governor Connolly. No one with room temperature IQ would believe this. The magic bullet is still defended today by the New York Times and the Washington Post. See, so when I first started learning anything about the whole JFK assassination, I didn't shoot. I didn't know anything about guns. I didn't know anything about ballistics. And I'd never seen what happened to a bullet after it goes through stuff. I mean, the bullet that allegedly went through Kennedy's head, through bone, it's pristine. And there's just no way it would happen. And what was the weapon? Like, I think it was a 30-06 bullet action rifle. I'm sorry, a bolt action rifle. But I can't remember. You guys might want to tell me in the chat. Let's see. Rancho High School in Vegas. Okay. Oh, Ranch High School in Vegas. Oh, okay. Yeah. So is that near where that happened? I don't know anything about Vegas. Can Vegas get kind of rough in some of those areas? So here, this is what the magic bullet supposedly did. I'm sure you guys have all seen this stuff, but it's just now that I know just a little tiny bit more about ballistics, it's just all so unreasonable to suggest this.
Went into Kennedy's back and came out his neck, and then went into Connolly's back, piercing the lung, destroying 4 inches of the right fifth rib, exiting from the front of his chest, going into the back of the wrist, shattering the distal end of the radius. And a 6'4" guy like Connolly, that's a big, heavy bone, comminuted fracture, exits from the front of the wrist, goes into his left thigh. Whatever you want, whatever you need, this bullet happily and readily obliges you. It is indeed a magic bullet. Went into Kennedy's back.
So yeah, 30-06. And yeah, it was, and I think it was a full metal jacket too, right, Danger? I don't know if I have a picture of the bullet itself. Let me see. There's just no way it stays that pristine. So it sort of blows the official narrative out the window, because Lee Harvey Oswald, the lone gunner, it was gone over it a million times. Fired 3 shots, 2 of them missed apparently, and then the one bullet did all the damage. And you watch the footage. Also, like, what happens? It kind of sucks that you have to talk about a murder like this, but what happens if you get shot in the head from either the back or from the front? What would you expect your head to do if you get shot in the head from the back? And supposedly gets shot in the neck, but you would go forward, and his head doesn't. It goes backwards. So it really looks like he got shot from front. A lot of people think it was the driver that turned around and shot him, and it kind of looks like the driver did turn around and just. So there's so much with the JFK assassination, but everyone seems to agree that it was the CIA. America's Untold Stories on YouTube. They're doing a good one. Yeah, okay, I'll check it out. Yeah, I've watched so many of them. I've gone down the rabbit hole so many times that it's like, it gets overwhelming at a certain point, because there's so many different theories too, but the one thing that everybody seems to agree upon is the official narrative isn't accurate, and the CIA did it. That's kind of like what everybody seems to agree on. Here, I want to talk about, I saw this thing about Marilyn Monroe earlier. This is a cool little write-up. Oh man, darn it. A lot of people think that Marilyn Monroe was killed because she knew too much. And somebody this dude, Dylan Allman, I like this. He's a good dude to follow on X. And yeah, so he did a little write-up here. The CIA murdered Marilyn Monroe because she knew too much. Wiretap transcripts from Marilyn Monroe's phone just 2 days before her death suggest that RFK had showed her evidence of UFOs. It sounds like something from a spy movie, but it might just be the real story behind Marilyn Monroe's mysterious death. Monroe, a high school icon, was reportedly having a secret affair with JFK during the time JFK allegedly told her about about his visit to the secret air base for an inspection of things from outer space. Yes, we're talking about the alleged UFO crash in Roswell, New Mexico in 1947, one of the biggest and most secret topics in U.S. history. Evidence suggests that she was planning to spill the secrets to the public after JFK ended his relationship with her. This would have been a massive expose revealing state secrets and causing national uproar. In 2017, Stephen Greer, a prominent figure in the UFO investigation, brought forward a top secret CIA memo. This memo from just 2 days before Marilyn Monroe's death shows the CIA was wiretapping her phone. It details a conversation between her and Bobby Kennedy, RFK's brother, where she said that she planned to hold a press conference to spill these secrets to the world. Marilyn's death has always been a subject of wild speculations. Officially, it was ruled a probable suicide, and it was just was this just a cover-up? The investigation into her death was even reopened in 1982 due to mounting questions about a mysterious bruise, lack of evidence, and political motives. There was no suicide note, despite Marilyn Monroe having been rehired for a film and making future plans that recorded just days before her death, and the absence of pill capsules in her stomach, despite the autopsy claiming pills caused her death. Furthermore, Deputy District Attorney John Miner noted that Monroe's stomach contents had vanished, and there was no evidence of her digesting the drugs in the first place. The story isn't just about the Hollywood star's tragic end. It's about how far the intelligence agencies go to keep certain truths hidden. If Marilyn Monroe was indeed silenced to prevent her from revealing the UFO evidence or anything else that may have been spilled to her, it opens a Pandora's box of questions about government secrecy and the lengths they'll go to protect it. What else could she have been? What else could she have known? Could it have been enough for her to have been killed? We know the CIA had a hand in JFK's death. Why not his secret lover too? So I like his little write-ups. That was fun. So yeah, JFK, 60 years, and well, a lot of people say like everything that we're seeing right now, the like JFK's death was the end of like American democracy, if you will, because the intelligence agencies became extremely strong just after this, just more and more strong. And now they seem to run the country because Joe Biden, that shill of a man, sure as hell doesn't. So that was yeah. All right. Well, enough of that. Yeah, I don't want to talk about JFK for too long. We got a bunch of stuff we got to get into anyway. So another quick thing out of New York. I think I talked about this last night and showed this, but I'm not positive. So Kathy, did I talk about this last night, you guys? I'm pretty sure I did, but let me just play it again, just because Kathy Hochul wants to collect information on people.
When we see hate speech being.
So start from the beginning.
We're very focused on the data we're collecting from surveillance efforts. We have launched an effort to be able to counter some of the negativity and reach out to people when we see hate speech being spoken about on online platforms. Our social media analysis unit has ramped up its monitoring of sites to catch incitement to violence, direct threats to others.
Joining me now, Lee Zeldin, former New York congressman and former gubernatorial candidate. Lee, what is this move really all about? Monitoring, surveillance? Sounds like that DHS office they had set up that they wanted to, the disinformation board. Sounds very similar. So, and she's also setting it up. They're like implementing a program to show, actually, are they doing that in New York or in California, where they're trying to show kids in school how to spot misinformation and disinformation? It seems like they're really ramping all this up because they know they're losing control of X, of Twitter. I don't think people that aren't on the platform, don't use the platform, or even like hardcore leftists, I don't think they realize how important that
X is to the establishment and controlling the narrative machine. It really is a new era. It's the 2024 election versus the 2020 election. If everything stays the same with X in terms of censorship, even if it stays where it is right now, where people get suspended periodically for saying random things, you can talk about stuff. I mean, the censorship is going to ramp up even more on all the other platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Google, well, whatever other platforms. It's all going to ramp up as the election gets near. And if it stays the same as it is right now on the X platform, I see a lot of people flocking over to this platform, and even people that were hardcore Russia gators, hardcore, I'm going to take boosters in my eyeballs until the government tells me I need to stop. People that are just hardcore narrative followers are even starting to just, you can't ignore stuff. You see stuff through osmosis. And then, when people that you trust are starting to be like, no, you know what? Like, we never needed to take it. Nobody ever needed to take the vaccine. Nobody ever really needed to take it. And no, Russiagate, that was fake. All of that was fake. And no, it does seem like the government is weaponized right now against Donald Trump, and they're going after him and trying to put him in prison to keep him off the ballot. Like, the front runner is being railroaded by the sitting president, who technically did a coup in the last election by getting the intelligence agencies to suppress all of the information that they suppressed through the social media companies. It's truly insane when you vocalize what happened and what we're living through right now. So, sorry, she bugs me, but I'll let her finish.
This is about hoarding power and being able to target political opposition in the name of combating anti-Semitism by using a vague, subjective term, allowing your thought police to be able to surveil online content, collect data, and to be able to crack down on a language that you don't like. Listen, Kathy Hochul told me that I should get on a bus and move to Florida because I'm a conservative. She's someone who refuses, she's called New Yorkers her apostles. Who knows exactly how she plans on defining what hate speech is, and color me very skeptical and cautious and untrustworthy of a government that, when launching an initiative like this, isn't willing to carefully detail exactly what the content is specifically you're going after, who's overseeing this power to make sure that it's not being abused.
All right, enough of that. Kathy Hochul is a terribly disingenuine looking person. She looks completely phony. Her smile, the way she walks, the way she carries herself, everything about her looks completely phony, and I can't stand her. Danger, a 6.5 by 52 round. Well, that's weird. Where did he get that rifle? 6 foot, like back then? That's a weird round. Like, why the heck? And I mean, is that like 6.5 Creedmoor? Isn't that like a long distance round? I mean, I don't know. It just sounds weird. Okay, that's weird. We're talking about, sorry, that was the round that went through JFK, apparently. So 6.5 by 52 Carcano rifle. Italian Carcano rifle. Oh, what a weird rifle. Okay. Interesting. All right. So yeah, New York being crazy. Let's get into some California stuff. Actually, no, one more thing out of New York. So they're getting flooded with so many migrants right now that, they have all the food pantries and like the food pantries for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and all that. And well, now there's so many more people that they're having to choose between like residents in New York and illegal aliens. So and New Yorkers ain't too happy about it.
The meal is a treat and a precious commodity in the Long Island City community, where 6,000 NYCHA residents and 8,000 migrants are competing for free hot meals.
Everybody looks out for one another. That's what I love. I don't know about them immigrants too much. I don't know.
It's a tension that goes both ways. Mercedes, a Nicaraguan mother who, with her husband, brought their 6 young children to the country 4 months ago, says she's aware some people in the community are more supportive than others, but they're hungry. Councilmember Julie Wan says she's had to step in.
So that's what kind of sucks, because, you know, it's a family that's husband, wife, kids, and they're here. No matter the circumstances about how they got here, I hate the circumstances that are bringing so many people here. Nevertheless, regardless, it's a family that's here and they're hungry. What do you do? You know, and I'm not going to we know that there's a lot of like fighting age males here. There's people that are using this for trafficking. There's people that are using this for all sorts of horrible reasons. But there are actual families coming here trying to escape something and get a better life. I feel like it's very few that are coming across the border. That's the situation. And that's what sucks too with all this open border stuff. I feel like the people that would risk it before were only the people that were leaving really horrendous situations and, you know, would come here as if, I don't know, I'm talking out my ass now, but the open border situation seems like if we had more of an effective border situation, that the people that came here both legally and illegally would be coming here for much more appropriate reasons. And, you know, you'd get better people coming here. Like this family, they seem like, you know, if I see a married couple and their kids and they're, you know, doing the best they can, it's, hey, it's a family. They're doing good to me, especially if their parents are still together. But point is, what do you do? And now there's not enough to go around. And yeah, this sucks. It's a tough situation. You can't let kids go hungry if you can do something about it. Yeesh. My bleeding heart liberalism coming out, right?
After a fight between members of the two groups at a food pantry got out of hand, sending one person to the hospital.
Right here, you have the largest population of public housing in a single unit in the whole country, where people are living 200% below the poverty line.
Juan organized the Thanksgiving meal giveaway. She says the bulk of her city council office's funding goes toward food insecurity remedies. The food assistance stretching to feed 2 large groups who can't work: the senior citizens living inside the Queensbridge housing, and now the thousands of migrants without legal documentation.
Yikes. Bad situation. Yeah, they ran out of turkey super fast, I guess. So it's not a good situation. So, I think, I don't even want to talk about this too much, but you guys saw the judges released Kareem McClerney and Isaiah Jasemi without bail. They attacked the NYPD police officer on Monday in the Bronx. So this is the video. Yeah, I'll just show it really quick. So it's only a 7-second video, but it went viral. But so, and it doesn't show the events leading up to this, but so they're jumping them, you know, full on jumping them. And I guess they were released without bail. And I talked about last night, I mean, this is all the way over in, it was up in Seattle. The dude that he's on the ring cam and he follows the lady home from a casino, tries to bust in her door, but she runs in her house and slams the door just in the nick of time to keep him out. And that same guy, him and some other dude, follow a guy to an AutoZone because they liked his Jeep, and they get out, They murdered him and stole his Jeep. And that guy was strapped. And he tried to defend himself. And they just had the drop on him. And I bring that up because that guy was released. After the Ring camera incident, he'd been released a whole bunch of times. It was like, I think it was 18 times in a month. It's insane what's happening with crime and the catch and release crime that's happening right now is absolutely insane. All right, let's talk about some California crap because there's always plenty of shenanigans happening over here. So we'll talk really quick about the fentanyl stuff. So we're getting flooded with fentanyl. People could talk about. Let me check really quick. So Lonnie, I don't know who the heck Farange is. Who the heck is Farange? And I know you're saying Kathy Aljo looks like Farange, but I don't know who the Farange is. No to drugs. I'm not saying she looks well fed. You're mean. You're mean. No to drugs. All right. So Border Patrol agents busted driver hauling more than 3.5 million in fentanyl pills on California interstate. So imagine how much the Border Patrol agents busted them. Imagine how much slips through the cracks. And you guys remember this lady. So Joanne Segovia, you guys remember, police union leader smuggled fentanyl into the U.S. to sell in bulk. A 20-year employee of the San Jose Police Officers Union charged in a scheme to distribute drugs, including fentanyl. Federal prosecutors say it was part of a scheme to distribute them in the U.S. This person has been really known as the grandma of the POA, the San Jose Police Officers, the San Jose Police Union, the head of the freaking San Jose Police Union. And it's not the woman that we have known for well over a decade. So she's been working with the police union for over 20 years and doing all her trafficking through the police union office. And not one other person in that officer knew about it. Sure. Do you think anyone else knew about it? So that's a great point. So, yeah, she's the only one, huh? Yep. SJPD. Well, head of the police union. So, she's not an SJPD member. So, yeah. I won't read the story because I've gone over it plenty of times, but it's like that is such a huge story that gets very little coverage. It's just, we have such a huge problem with fentanyl all over the place. And a lot of the drug dealers are from Honduras. And, everybody says the fentanyl is coming from China. Why don't we know more about this? Why don't we know? I mean, where do our tax dollars go, you guys? I mean, I guarantee you if we took probably just the people that would watch this show and we decided if all of us decided, okay, we're going to figure out exactly, we're going to try to track some fentanyl. We're going to see where it comes into the country, who those people are, who they distribute it to, and then how it gets to the Honduran fentanyl dealers and all the in between. And, where's all the money changing hands? We pay law enforcement. We have state cops, we have city cops, we have Border Patrol, federal agents. Why this is a huge problem in the United States. It's not just in California. It's all along the west coast. I don't think it's a giant problem in New York, but Philadelphia, it's really bad. It's really bad everywhere. Santa Cruz, it's really bad. This seems like a fentanyl epidemic. Why aren't there are giant investigations happening with this stuff? I don't understand it. Farange is this character. Oh, Ferengi. I remember from Star Trek. Is that the one with the big giant weird thing on his head? Yeah. Okay. I remember Star Trek: The Next Generation, right? Because that's the only one I watched. I was a big fan of that one. I called somebody the Borg today. Who did I call the Borg? Oh, I compared progressives to the Borg earlier because they really are like a hive mind. I don't remember what I was talking about. Anyway, all right. So, yeah, fentanyl all over the place, everywhere. Why aren't cops doing their job? And it seems like there's like no investigation happening around it. Secret Chinese biolab Jesse Zhu has been arrested and charged in federal court. He received large unexplained payments from China while operating this lab. So you guys remember that one that was out like near Tulare? And yeah, that happened. Yeah, I got a few clips to show, but here, this one just annoyed me earlier. So I think this is an older clip, but you know how they're always talking about like right wingers getting radicalized online from misinformation and disinformation? So do you guys know Robert Reich? You guys that are watching on here, Robert Reich, if you're on the X platform or on Twitter or whatever, he's like a Stephen King type, where he's just super ultra. Almost seems like he's a paid propagandist almost, with how insane the stuff that he says is and how false and wrong it is. Well, this clip from this lady here, this is literally a lady that got radicalized by Robert Reich. That's what this dude did to her. She blames everything on right wingers, and there's so many people that are like this that it's like somebody that would blame the homeless and fentanyl addicted, all that stuff, like all the stuff that's happening in San Francisco. It's like people that would blame all that stuff on Trump or even Reagan. There's people that'll do that. There's people that'll blame the stuff that's happening in San Francisco right now. They'll blame it on Reagan. There's people legit that'll do that. Like, Reagan shut down the sanitariums, which, you know, I'm pretty sure that was Reagan that did that. And Reagan did go after he was the assault weapons ban guy, right? So it's just not good. But anyway, that's what this lady, they always say that crazy right wingers are being radicalized with misinformation and disinformation. Listen to what this lady has to say about California gas prices.
$98 fucking to fill up the tank today.
Pardon the F-bombs. Sorry, Shelly.
$98 fucking $98 fucking. I have to decide between buying gas or buying food. And guess who wins? Because I have to get to the job that I need to fucking buy anything at all. That doesn't pay me enough. And people want to donate $1,000 to fucking cats.
See, all right. So the first thing I'm noticing right off the bat, she's yelling, she's angry, she's really mad, and the stuff she's complaining about is legitimate points. However, I'm just observing her with her fancy bedazzled glasses here. They might be cheap, but her earrings. She looks like she's accessorizing pretty well. Doesn't look like she's I can't tell what type of car it is, but it doesn't look like a cheap car. And I don't know, just doesn't, you know, she's not exactly wearing a torn shirt, and, you know, she looks like she's doing okay, but she's complaining about all the things we're complaining about. I was complaining earlier about ground beef, the price of ground beef. It's like my benchmark, how expensive ground beef is, how expensive everything is. We're all complaining about that. We're all in the same boat here. The thing is, most of us understand the whole printing money thing and inflation and why it's happening. But listen to how she rationalizes what's happening with things being so expensive and whose fault it is.
$98 goddamn dollars at Costco to fill up my tank. $98. $5.50 a tank. $5.50 a gallon at Costco. $5.50 a gallon at Costco. This is the work of the fucking religious right. Listen to Robert Reich, who clearly who gives us all of the evidence about how our poverty is a choice that our government made for us.
Well, that I don't necessarily disagree with her on. Like, yes, a lot of this, the hyperinflation. Well, is it hyperinflation yet? The inflation, the stagflation, the what do they call it? A shrinkflation, where it's like the bag is the same size, but there's just less product in the bag. with whatever it is. Same thing with like the bottles are getting a tiny bit smaller. They just change the shape because they want to put like 1.7 less ounces of fluid in it. All that stuff. Yeah, government shortages, just all sorts of stuff that is because of government. She's right. I don't disagree with her, but how do you go from that to blaming the religious right? We're in you're talking about California gas prices here, $5.50 a gallon. We have a unique California gas tax, and then there's all this California global warming crap that we're doing, climate change crap that we're doing. This is why our gas prices are so low. And California sits on top of a ton of crude oil. We could be refining our own oil and making our own gas, but we don't do that. Our gas could be dirt cheap if we wanted it to be. It's not the religious right's fault. They would like to do that.
A CEO is not worth 351 times what I get paid. Ever. Fuck you, religious right, who are doing this and have been doing this to us. Fuck you, profiteering companies. Fuck you, billionaires, stealing us, breaking our backs, stealing from us, profiteering off of us. Let me repeat, I have to decide between buying food or gas.
So, no to drugs. You said her spouse beat her, and I just thought you were saying that to be mean. But then, Wally World, you said agreed. Her eyebrows bothering me. And then I looked at it. I think it's a Band-Aid. I think she has a Band-Aid on her forehead. Are you right? No to drugs. Jeez, you guys. Maybe that is why she's so mad, but I don't want to speculate on that. I don't want to speculate on that. It's just the mental gymnastics people do to blame the right for the stuff that is so clearly a problem of progressives. This happened earlier over in Gardena, California. They broke into this a breeder, and they stole $100,000 worth of Frenchies, freaking French bulldogs. Oh, the little man! It shows the Frenchies too. He puts one of them in the back, and man, I love Frenchies. Little freaking jerks. All right, I think that's enough. No, there's a whole bunch of California stuff. I think. Oh yeah. So, you know what? Lars for president talked about the Santa Cruz Daniel Hubbard thing that I talked about last night. Well, he just recaps what I talked about last night. You know, dude that caught guys breaking into his dispensary and decided to ram him and open fire on him. Well, they're going after him hardcore. It's just unreal. It's good that they're drawing attention to it, but yeah, it's just insane that we live in a time where, you can't defend yourself. You can't defend yourself without, you kind of know that you're going to go to jail if you defend yourself, but you still have to. Like, that thought can't enter your mind. But property rights, that's a huge thing. Freaking property rights. So, all right. Is there any San Francisco stuff I wanted to talk about really quick? I think there was. No stuff I wanted to. Yeah, I think we're going to do a little bit of a short show tonight, you guys. I think that is going to be all because, frankly, I'm hungry. I haven't eaten since my run and I am starving. Yeah, it's not too short. It'll be like 5 minutes short. So, all right. Is everybody, what do you guys got planned for Thanksgiving? You guys going to make cranberry sauce? I mean, I kind of feel like I'm obligated to try cranberry sauce now, like somebody's homemade cranberry sauce, because that stuff that comes in a can is just gross. It's always grossed me out. It's always weirded me out. It's shaped just like the can. It's gross. It's freaking gross. But again, and what's the stuff that they mix the marshmallows with? Is that sweet potatoes, or yams? I don't know. All the weird stuff, all the weird stuff that we never eat all year long. Green bean casserole. Nobody eats this stuff all year long, and then it comes out during Thanksgiving. I'm all about the turkey and mashed potatoes all day long. Give it to me year round. I'm happy with it. But just all this stupid stuff, the cranberry sauce, the green bean casserole, the yams with the marshmallows, it doesn't make any freaking sense. It's so stupid. It's so lame. All right. I'll quit ranting. Enough of that. All right. I hope all you guys have a happy Thanksgiving. I will be back here. I'm going to do a Thanksgiving stream tomorrow night. It should be fun. All the yum stuff, Terry Wallace. No, that stuff is gross. Pumpkin pie. Yeah. All I want on my plate is turkey. I am a dark meat fan, though. I will say that. I want turkey. I want mashed potatoes. And I want stuffing. And I want it smothered in gravy. All of it. That's it. And I want to go back for seconds and possibly thirds. That's it. I'm good. And then I want a couple of slices of maybe a slice of cheesecake and maybe a slice of pumpkin pie. I am fat after that. That's a lot of freaking food. Yeah, why would I waste any vital retail in my belly on green bean casserole? It's absurd. It's disgusting. Who would do such a thing? All right. Danger. B. Sizzo, Terry Wallace, No to Drugs, Wally World. You guys are wonderful. You guys are the best. I hope Pete Grabber. Hope you guys all have a great Thanksgiving. But before we get out of here, you know how we got to do it. We got to read a joke from the best book ever written, The Truth About Chuck Norris. Let's see what we got here. Sorry, let me stop sharing my screen. I had myself on the wrong screen all night too. That's okay. That's all right. Tonight was kind of a shooting from the hip episode. I'll have something more well prepared for tomorrow night. Okay. All right, guys. I hope everybody has a happy Thanksgiving. Here is the Chuck Norris joke of the evening. Not a long one, but here it is. Chuck Norris drives a pickup upholstered in denim. And on that note, stay CaliBased.